Jai Gurudev to all of you, myself Rohit Dutt, and I am taking your business studies class. So, students, in our previous class, we have started the topic history of ancient India and have discussed its subtopics also. Okay, so students, again before we begin, I just want to remind you that please go through the ePDF which I have provided you, and if you are unable to see PDF or you are not having, then please let me know in my send number. So okay guys, so let's begin the remaining portion of the uh, history of ancient India. So our topic is position of Indian subcontinent in world economy, that is from 1 AD up to 1991. Okay, what was our position from 1 AD to 1991? Clear? So coming here, we can see the NCERT page, that is position of an Indian subcontinent in world economy. Okay, and through this chart you can see below this chart. Okay, we will understand it more beautifully. Okay, what were the percentage at that duration and till 1991. Okay, so coming to the next one, you can see over here, we'll just discuss it in a short. Okay, so position of Indian subcontinent in world economy. Clear? So between the first and the 7th century, okay, between the first and 7th century CE, India is estimated to have the largest economy. You can see in the first point, India is estimated to have the largest economy of the ancient and medieval world. Okay, and controlling about one third and one fourth of the world's wealth. Got it? So we can say the country was often also referred to as Swarna Bhumi and Swarna Deep in the writings of many travelers. Okay, you can see the name of many travelers here in NCERT. You can see this, uh, like Megasthenes, okay, Faxian, Fahin, uh, Huanzhang, Huan Tashang, Al Bruni, ठीक है, then Ibn Battuta, Frenchman, Francois, and others. Okay, so they repeatedly refers to the prosperity of the country. Got it, everyone? So thereafter, the 18th century, India was far behind Western Europe in technology, innovation, and ideas. Got it, everyone? So in the mid 18th century, the British Empire began to take roots in India and used revenues generated by the provinces, okay, under its rule for purchasing Indian raw materials, spices, and goods. So hence the continuous inflow of bullion that used to come on account of foreign trade stopped. Clear? So you can see over here in the last portion. Okay, guys. So coming to the chart. This is the chart I have taken from NCERT. This one. Okay, I'll just explain it. This one I'll just explain this one. It's more clear. Okay, see. I think so. You can. It's now much more clear to you. See, guys. So in the first AD, we were the largest regional contribution of world's wealth. Okay, as we have previously we have read that between first and 7th centuries, India is estimated to have the largest economy. Okay, of the ancient. So in at the first AD, okay, 32% of the 32% of wealth we were having. Okay, thereafter from then moving to 1000 AD, 32% the largest regional contribution. Till now we are the largest contribution of wealth, of world's economic wealth. Okay, thereafter in 1500 it declined. Okay, that is 24.36%, and we became the second in regional share. Okay, so now currently we are seeing that America is the world's best in economy, is the largest economy, isn't it? Okay, so coming from 1500 to 1600 AD, we see that 24.41%. Thereafter 1700. So this 1600 AD, it is the that time when most of the invaders, okay, they invaded our country, and they have created a lot of uh, killings, lot of stealings of wealth. Okay, like Afghans and many more. Okay, so thereafter moving to 1700 AD, you can see the contribution that was 24.46. Then from 1700 to 750, 25% of world industrial output. Thereafter coming to 1850, okay, 5 to 10%. See, now it started to decline much more. Then moving to 1870, 89.2 world's income British, okay, British Empire. Thereafter in 1900 2%. Thereafter 1913, okay, 1913, uh, 1913 AD 5.4%. Thereafter coming to 1952, okay, 3.8%. Then 1973 3.1, and finally 1991 AD, that is economic liberalization. From here our country adopted LPG. Okay, so further in our section we will study this LPG. So I hope this one is clear to everyone. If further you are having any query regarding this chart, then please contact me in my cell number. Okay, so coming to the next topic, that is India begins to reindustrialize. Okay, so coming to here, see, India begins to reindustrialize. Okay, so I'll just we will just see it in a short. Okay, so after independence, India went for centralized planning. Okay, in 1952. Okay, so the first 5-year plan was implemented. Okay, in 1952. See here, we went to rebuilding the economic started and centralized planning was being done. Clear? So first 5-year plan was implemented in 1952. Clear? Was implemented, and importance was given to the establishment of modern industries, modern technological and scientific institutes, space and nuclear programs. Okay, you can see in the beneath. Clear? So however, the Indian economy could not develop at a rapid pace due to lack of capital formation. Got it? See over here, despite these efforts, the Indian economy could not develop at a rapid pace. So all it was due to lack of capital formation, rise in population, huge expenditure on defense, and inadequate infrastructure were the major reasons. Okay, we have plan, but it was not success. Thereafter, thus India relied heavily on borrowing from foreign sources and finally agreed to economic liberalization in 1991. So we have to borrow, and finally we also introduced economic liberalization. Okay, that is our LPG. Clear everyone? LPG. Got it? So today Indian economy is one of the fastest growing economies in the world today, and preferred FDI destination. Okay, foreign direct investment, FDI. Got it everyone? So you can see there, this is the seventh largest economy in the below it's written. The Indian economy is one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and we are the seventh largest economy. Clear everyone? So the recent initiatives, uh, now we can see over here, I'll just talk about this one, the scheme. You can see, so this is scheme also, you can see this one here. So the recent initiatives of the government of India, such as Make in India, okay, Skill India, Digital India, got it everyone? Make in India, Skill India, Digital India, okay, and rollout of foreign trade policy, that is FTP 2015-20, is expected to help the economy in terms of export and import and trade balance. Got it everyone? So guys, I'll end up my class today here. And further, if you are having any query, then please let me know in my contact number. Jai Gurudev.